Hey guys, what's up? I'm Jay Shady, aka the Voice of Reason, and I am here with my Wrestlemania 4 review. So coming off the heels of one of the greatest WrestleManias of all time, one of the most classic in WrestleMania 3, we get WrestleMania 4. One of the worst fucking WrestleManias of all time, probably. I mean, one of the worst I've seen. I started watching WrestleManias since WrestleMania 14. I've never seen any previously before that. But this has to be one of the worst. It can't get much worse than this. I mean, I thought WrestleMania 2 was bad. This is on a whole new level. I hear WrestleMania 9 is the worst. So I mean, this has to be the second worst. I mean, unless there's something really, another one that's really bad in there. But yeah, this was just, it was hard to sit through. I mean, I don't know how I didn't fall asleep on it. I was really thinking about just shutting this off and going to sleep and just calling it a night. But I got through it, I might as well just suffer tonight. I don't even really want to do this review that long. There's 16 fucking matches on the card. I mean, 16 matches. This WrestleMania was like 3.5 hours. So there's 16 matches. I obviously can't go into detail about every one, so let me just get this shit over with. The first match is a 20-man battle royal. And, I mean, this was not good. It was Bad News Brown winning the Battle Royal, and he last eliminates Bret Hart. Then Bad News Brown is presented a trophy, and Bret Hart breaks the trophy. I mean, this was totally pointless to the rest of the card. You have 16 matches on here. Why did you really need this Battle Royal? Just didn't make sense. Alright, whatever. This wasn't good. The next match, alright, so the story going into this WrestleMania was Hogan in the February of that year dropped the title to Andre in a very shady, dirty fashion, and then Andre sold the belt to Ted DiBiase, who he was working with, but Jack Tunney, the commissioner or the head of WWF, made that an invalid decision and vacated the title and presented a tournament, which is what plays through WrestleMania 4, a tournament for the vacant WWF title. So we get the tournament throughout this whole WrestleMania. I thought that was a cool idea. But, it would be nice if some of the matches were good, You got a WrestleMania tournament thing, but... So I thought that was a good idea, but... Alright, so the first match in that tournament was Ted DiBiase versus Jim Duggan. Not a good match. This was really short. Just... You couldn't even get into it. I mean, it wasn't one of the worst matches of the night, but it wasn't even okay. But saying that is giving it praise compared to the rest of the stuff. It ends with... Ted DiBiase, I forgot how it fucking ends. He just pins Jim Duggan somehow. That's all I remember. I don't even remember a lot of this shit. Then you get another tournament match, Don Morocco versus Dino Bravo. This was a bad match. In the first 30 seconds, he had 2 botches already. It was just 2 big muscular guys that didn't know how to work with each other. It was just disgusting to look at. It ends with Dino Bravo getting disqualified for putting his hands on the referee. Alright, thank God it wasn't that long though. Then you get Greg Valentine versus Ricky Steamboat. This was one of the better matches of the night, but it still wasn't good. I didn't like it. I thought it was slow. I couldn't get into it until the end. The end picked up a little bit, but this was still one of the 3 okay or mediocre or good matches of the night, so it went on for a while. It ends with Ricky Steamboat doing the crossbody splash, but too much momentum on it, so he flips over and Greg Valentine gets the pin. And he advances to the next round. Then you get Randy Savage versus Butch Reed, Macho Man. This was not good. I mean, it was a short match, and Butch Reed was dominating it all. He was on offense the whole time, so, Macho Man couldn't even do anything, and obviously he's the one with more talent in here, so... wasn't good. Macho Man gets the victory with the elbow, I believe. Flying elbow from the top, I think. Then you get another tournament match. One Man Gang versus Bam Bam Bigelow. 2 big guys. I mean, Bam Bam Bigelow actually has talent, but One Man Gang doesn't. So it didn't work. It was the worst. It was the worst ending. Maybe one of the worst endings I've ever seen to a match. Bam Bam Bigelow's on the outside. The referee's counting, and Bam Bam Bigelow's on the apron, not in the ring, but on the apron by 8, and he doesn't manage to get in the ring by the count of 10. So he's standing on the ring apron for 5 seconds, and he gets counted out on the ring apron. It was just it looked horrible. You didn't know what was going on. You didn't know why the referee rang the bell. So one man gang advances. Whoop de fucking do. Then you get Rick Rude versus Jake the Snake Roberts. This is one of the most boring matches I've ever seen in my life, and that is saying a lot. You know, in this PG era where we get boring matches on a constant basis, this match is one of the most boring, and this was the longest match of the night. This went on for 15 minutes. You had like a 10-minute chin lock throughout the whole match. No offense whatsoever, but rest holds. Don't ever watch this match, even if you're a huge fan of any of these guys. Basically, there's a 15-minute time limit, and it reaches the 15 minutes, so both guys, fight to a draw, and they both get disqualified from advancing throughout the tournament. You couldn't do this with like a double DQ in like 2 minutes. You needed to have 15 minutes of a chin lock. Horrible. Worst match of the night, I think. Maybe. Then you get the Ultimate Warrior versus Hercules. This wasn't good either. Not much was good. It was just two big guys, two big guys trying to have a wrestling match, but not being able to that much. It ends with like a bridge pin. I think it's Hercules has a bridge pin on Warrior, but both of their shoulders are down. But Warrior manages to get his shoulder up before 3, while Hercules doesn't, so Warrior gets the win. This wasn't even a tournament match, so why did you need to have this match? I don't know, but it wasn't a good match. Then you got... oh, God. Yeah, Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant in a tournament match. So this is the match that a lot of this pay-per-view was booked around. A lot of it was hyped. You had a lot of hype for it and anticipation for it throughout the night. A lot of people coming to see it. The WrestleMania 3 rematch between these two legends, these two titans. And now you had Andre the Giant having Ted DiBiase in his corner, so this feud was still going strong. And this match actually started out pretty okay. It was more physical than the WrestleMania 3 match. But you have, the match that you're billing to be one of the main matches at your pay-per-view, and it's 5 minutes long. And it ends in a double disqualification. Oh God, this was ridiculous. You promote and book a match to bring in all the fans, Hogan and Andre, and you have it be 5 minutes and end in a double disqualification. It basically ends with Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant beating each other up with chairs. And I just couldn't understand. This is a tournament for the WWF Championship, and you have Hulk Hogan beating up Andre with a chair when he knows, and it's in front of the referee. It's not like the referee was turned. You're gonna be disqualified, so it didn't make sense. It just looked like if you're competing for the WWF Championship, why do you intentionally in front of the referee get disqualified? This was horrible. Just horrible. It started out okay, but the way it ended it made no sense whatsoever. Oh, God. Then you got Ted DiBiase versus Don Morocco in the tournament match. This was nothing special. I didn't care for this. Nothing to really talk about. Ted DiBiase wins. I forgot how he gets the pin somehow, but he goes on in the tournament. Then you get Macho Man Randy Savage versus Greg Valentine in a tournament match. This was actually one of the better matches, and it was okay. It was like maybe the second best match of the night, and it was just okay. But compared to everything else, this shit was gold. But basically, it just ends with Macho Man getting the elbow drop, I believe. So he advances. Then you get Intercontinental Championship match. Oh my God, Brutus the Barber Beefcake versus the Honky Tonk Man. This match was bad. Such a bad match. Brutus Beefcake just annoyingly and obscenely pandering to the crowd, just being really stupid, really baby-facey. It ends with a disqualification. Jimmy Hart, who's in the corner of Honky Tonk Man, just pushes the referee down. Ugh. God, so Brutus Beefcake wins by disqualification, but Honky Tonk Man keeps the belt. Not a good match at all. Then you get 6-man tag match, the Islanders and Bobby Heenan versus the British Bulldogs and Coco Beware. And actually this match was starting off good. I thought this was going to be the match of the night, but right away it went downhill from there. Once the Islanders took over and went on offense, that's when it started crumbling down, this match, and it just turned out being not a good match. You had Bobby Heenan in there for a comedic effect, but really didn't add much. The Islanders slammed Bobby Heenan on top of one of the British Bulldogs, I believe, and they beat the British Bulldogs. All right, then you get Macho Man versus One Man Gang in the semifinal tournament match. This was not a good match, not a good match at all. Very short. This is another one. One Man Gang is trying to hit Macho Man with a cane and right in front of the referee, so he gets disqualified. Like, you're one step away from going to the final match. Why the hell are you getting yourself disqualified? I didn't understand these disqualifications in this. It's not like the referee caught them. They were doing this shit right in front of the referee. Just stupid, lazy booking. Alright, so Macho Man advances to the finals. Then you get a tag team match for the tag team titles. Demolition versus Strike Force. I didn't care for this match either. You know, I think this was the longest match, but it was pretty boring. It wasn't good. Demolition gets the win. I think while the referee's not looking, one of the guys hits one of the people of Strike Force with the cane, and they get the pin. You know, and they win the tag team titles. Then you get the main event, and thank God, if it wasn't for this main event, I really would have, you know, I would have said that this pay-per-view has no redeeming qualities, and I would have gave it the lowest possible grade I could. But thank God that it at least, you know, made you go home happy. It better after all this shit that you have to sit through 15 fucking matches. You only have 2 okay matches up to here. So it was Macho Man versus Ted DiBiase for the vacant WWF Championship. And you had Andre the Giant in Ted DiBiase's corner and Miss Elizabeth in Macho Man's corner. I liked this match a lot. You know, you had the whole story with, you know, Ted DiBiase. He was getting through on buys, so he didn't have to wrestle as many matches as Macho Man had in the finals. This was Macho Man's 4th match. I believe this was DiBiase's 2nd his 3rd match, so he was more rested. You had Andre the Giant interfering whenever the referee wasn't looking, so, you know, the odds were against Macho Man, and then he tells Miss Elizabeth to go backstage, and she brings out Hulk Hogan, and, you know, the odds are now even. You have Hulk Hogan in Macho Man's corner. The crowd was into it, you know. It was a good match itself in the ring, and Andre's trying to get involved, and Ted DiBiase has the sleeper hold on Macho Man, and when the referee isn't looking, Hulk Hogan gets in the ring and hits DiBiase in the back with the chair. Macho Man goes for the flying elbow drop, gets it, and wins the WWF Championship. Great ending, you know. A good all-around story and a great build-up towards the WrestleMania 5. You know, they were building up towards Macho Man versus Hulk Hogan, and, you know, this was a great way, you know, to start this all off. You had Andre the Giant and Ted DiBiase in there. I thought it was win-win all around, and, you know, this main event, you know, and the celebration with Macho Man hoisting Miss Elizabeth on his shoulder, her holding the title in the air. It was just one of those moments where, you know, that's why I am a wrestling fan. Those are the moments why, you know, seeing a legend like Macho Man, you know, be awarded a championship, a true legend that, you know, I really miss, one of the best of all time. And, you know, Miss Elizabeth, you know, just as important, you know, to the wrestling business and to Macho Man as anything else. Great stuff. Very, very, you know, emotional, very heartwarming ending. Very, you know, as go home happy as you possibly can. Just a great ending to a shitty pay-per-view. The only good things about this pay-per-view was this main event. The commentary was hilarious from Jesse the Body Ventura and Gorilla Monsoon, and this was the introduction of the Winged Eagle belt in WrestleMania. Other than that, this was total shit. If it wasn't for the great, you know, closing credits of Macho Man and Hulk Hogan and Miss Elizabeth in the ring, I mean, that was just a great. I felt like it was so euphoric. I felt like I was watching like the end of the original Star Wars. It was just so happy, so triumphant. But if it wasn't for that, I'd give this pay-per-view like a 2 or 2.5. But I'm gonna give it a 3, and that's probably overrating it. So there you go, a 3 out of 10. You know, just because of Macho Man, pretty much. So there you go. One of the worst WrestleMania I've seen so far. I'll see how it holds up when I get to 9. But there you go. Yeah, hope you liked my review. Hopefully, you would like my review better than the show, because this show was not good at all. You had like 2 okay matches and 1 good main event, 1 good match on the card. I'll be back next time for my WrestleMania 5 review. Please be better than this shit. Jay Shady, voice of reason. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later.